How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Flagrant Talk Sports Podcast. It's Moses here alongside his favorite co-host, Isaiah Gessner.
How we doing, everybody?
Today, we are finally finishing off our rankings mini-series with the NBA season. Days, hours away. We had to wrap it up for y'all with the big men, the centers, the footers, some of the 6'11ers, 6'10ers, but the big boys. Today, finally wrapping it out, saving a couple guys on this list that, people might have thought, they're a power forward. Nah, according to our eyeballs and research and games played, these are the top 10 centers in our eyes from last season. Zay, what do you got for the people?
Yeah, like you said, we are going off of last season, so that's a big one. And the other big one, and we'll touch on the specific player off rip. Once we start the rankings, you needed to play at least half of your regular season games to qualify, so 41. We made this clear through every video, so this isn't new. If you want to see those other videos, we've got every other position, point guard through power forward, already done for you. If you want to check those out, binge them, whatever. But there is a very, very, very big person left off of this list. I'm sure you all can assume who. And the other one, I know that with positions, it's weird. We've gotten some comments from people who are like, hey, this person plays shooting guard and small forward, or this person plays small forward and power forward. At the end of the day, it's a positionless game. We're playing a lot of the time. Positions are very fluid. We had Herb Jones in the shooting guard videos, and we're starting the season off with him playing center. So it's kind of a weird thing. They were executive positions or, rulings by us just so we could have the positions the way we wanted. But obviously, players move around. With all that yapping done, I think we're ready to wrap up this top 10 hours, as you said, away from the NBA season, and I cannot wait.
Let's do it, man. Yep.
Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way first. We'll kick this off with honorable mentions. And to be noted, Mo and I do not know each other's list, just to put that out there. The biggest one, it's Joel Embiid. We will do damage control off rip. He only played 39 regular season games, so he missed the mark. However, when he was on the court, you could make a real argument, I might even be on that side, that he was going for a second MVP. He was dominant, putting up shooting splits that are up there with the likes of Wilt Chamberlain and exceeding them. Like, this is how good of a season Joel Embiid was having. Injuries ended up being the thing that hurt him, and he even fought through it in the playoffs and still had really strong performances, but they were mounting up. When healthy, he is at minimum 2. That's just the reality of it. He's that good.
100%. I think he's 2.
I think so pretty comfortably. Led the league in scoring last year, 34.7 points per game, 11 rebounds, which is good enough for 8th in the NBA, 5.6 assists. So he's still top 35 in the league in assists, 11th in blocks at 1.7, top 50 in steals with 1.2, shooting 53% from the field. He's one of the all-time players. If he played 41 games, he's on this list anyways. So this is the big one. This is the one where, yes, he is 2. We know this, but the rules are the rules, and we had to set him to make the list gel a little bit. So we got Embiid here.
Without a doubt, couldn't bend the rules, even though it was very good argument to do so. We had to stay consistent there.
And we talked about it too. It was one of those things where it's like, hey, well, we will just make sure to talk about him first because anyone with a brain is going to see. Now, if you skip late in the video and you see Embiid as an honorable mention and you don't listen to the parameters we set, you might be like, dude, these two are idiots wearing
Don't know
Celtics hats.
ball. Yep.
Yeah, they hate the Sixers. Come on, man. We all know who Embiid is. So
Yep.
got that one out of the way first. Just didn't qualify. But the next guys we're going to talk about simply didn't make the list, but man, they were right in the thick of it. Mo, do you want to name your first honorable mention?
My first honorable mention, he had a really good season, one of the better seasons of his fairly young career. Miles Turner, the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
He put up 17 points per game, 6.6 boards, 2.1 assists, 1.5 blocks. It only played 17 games last year. Sorry, that's the playoffs. My bad. 77 games played last year. Pretty well for them in the playoffs. Basically same stat line. Sorry, I'm drumbling things. Just not good enough to make my list, unfortunately, but still a player I wanted to highlight. And is going to be a big part of the team again this year. So
yeah, I mean, Miles Turner is like wine in the way that his game is aging. His ability to space the floor, his ability to knock down big shots, to do well in the pick and roll. He's a great player alongside a Halliburton who is handling the ball. And honestly, next to Pascal Siakam is a great pairing. Like you said, if the Pacers are going to continue, coming off an Eastern Conference Finals appearance, and as a Celtics fan, they played the Celtics the best, I would say, out of any team in the entire playoffs. They got swept, right? Or did we win in 5? Either way, they played very good basketball, and Miles Turner just missed it. But I still think he's underrated. He just continues to be a great player, man.
yeah, 100%.
The next one I've got is the final honorable, and you may have him. So if you do, we'll just go straight into him. I've got Jared Allen.
I do have him on my list.
Okay. Get us started then in this top 10.
Jared Allen with, I believe, what was a pretty underrated season for him up in Cleveland. 17 points a game, 10.5 boards, 2.7 assists, 1.1 blocks on 77 games. Just a very high production offensive season for Jarrett. People were expecting Evan Mobley to kind of take over as that main big in Cleveland there, but Jared Allen is still a really good big for them, still the top big, I would say, heading into this year, and is going to continue to play a big role in the team on both sides of the ball, especially with his rim protection. Obviously hurts him that he doesn't stretch the floor like a couple of the guys on this list, but obviously that's not everything at this position. But
no,
he is my 10 spot leading off my list.
Real quick, I'm looking up how many 3-pointers did Jared Allen take last year. He's made 19 in his career. Let's see. This season, he made 0 3-pointers. I was looking at his percentage and it said 0.0, and I'm like, wait, did he really not make any? This is not to clown on him. I just saw that number and was like, wow, he didn't make a single one. He's not expected to. That's not what he needs to do on that team. or in general to be a great player, he was number 11 for me, just right there. Gives you impact on both sides of the ball, and I think continues to be underrated
Yeah,
simply because his game isn't sexy, right? Like he doesn't have that swagger out there on the court like some of these other big fellas have. He's not sinking all these three balls. He's not doing all of these things that I think you normally associate with a very good player. But
yeah,
he is a very good player, man. And, you know, whether he sticks around or he gets traded so Mobley can play the five, whatever it is, Allen continues to be a very solid player in the league and for the Cavs.
100%.
So he was 11 for me, which means my number 10, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. Was he an honorable for you?
He was my number 11.
Cool. Last season, a weird one for the entire Memphis Grizzlies organization, not just him. 22 and a half points, 5.5 rebounds, 1.6 blocks per game, good enough for 13th in the NBA, 1.2 steals per game as well as a big fella. Shoots 32% from three. It's not great, but something he's continued to kind of build on and work on so that he can open up his game. We all know the rebounding is a bit of an issue for him, but he makes up for at least some of it with his defensive prowess and how he's able to get out there and disrupt offensive players. Played in 66 games, and while the stats are good, it wasn't a great season from him, even though he is at 10. And it's things outside of anything he could have controlled. That team
Yeah.
was so hurt. You see Ja Morant miss essentially the whole year, besides a little sprint coming back from suspension. Desmond Bain, iffy. Like they were running so many bad lineups, and so when Jaren was out there, teams are really able to just focus on him and Bain, and it was tough. Still number 10, though. I think it speaks to him. I think getting some time as a number one or as a number two on a team was good, even though that's not his role now, nor will it ever be, to be totally honest. But with the addition of Zach Edey, I'm curious. I think it'll also help him as well. Edey is such a dominant guy on the glass. All this to say, Jaren is at 10 for me, but I could easily see him with a bit of a bounce back year given better circumstances for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, 100% not mad at it. As I said, he was the first player off of my list.
Yeah.
The big thing for me with Jaren, as most people know, and it's, it could be worse, but for a big, I need more than 5.5 rebounds a game. It's always been the knack on him. Obviously, he is a DPOY caliber player. His offensive game, as you said, has been improving. So Zach Edey coming in is going to be big, but it was just the outside characteristics for me that left him off the list. But I'm not mad at all. Love Jaren.
Yeah, without a doubt. So now we can kick it off at 9. And I think going forward, all these guys will be on our list in some order. Number 9 for me, and this is simply because of a lack of games. I think if he plays more, he's higher on the list. I've got my own Boston Celtic. I've got Kristaps Porzingis here at 9. Coming off of a great year at championship, played in 57 games, put up 20.1 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 2 assists per game, nearly 2 blocks. He was top 10 in the league in blocks, shooting 52% from the field. KP opens up the Celtics in so many ways. He is a great rim protector, and he can knock the 3 ball down, not just sitting in the corner, but from all over the court. And that really is one of the things that opened up the Celtics team in the playoffs too. Banged up, missed a lot of time, but man, when he was out there, did he make an impact for his team? Helped them raise the floor I think going into this year, yes, he's going to miss the first 2 months, probably targeting a December return. But if the Celtics are going to go back to back, they're going to hang their hat on having Kristaps Porzingis as a factor yet again. Love everything that he brings to the team. Does so many things and so many things very well. But really, the lack of games is what pinged him to 9. I think if he was healthier, he easily could have moved up a couple of slots, but got my Celtics sitting here at 9.
Without a doubt, I will talk about him shortly. I'll touch on a guy whose season was unfortunately cut short due to injury, and his team also was, surprisingly close to a playoffs, but ended up not making it. I have Alperen Sengun at my 9th spot. He got career highs in points, rebounds, assists, and steals last season. 21.1 points per game, 9.3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.2 steals in 63 games. Again, as I said, his season unfortunately cut short to a brutal injury. So hoping he can come back healthy to start off the year and be the same player that he was, because he was on a path to an all-star type of
Yes.
track, I would say. And with the Rockets just getting that chemistry, getting Ime another season under the belt there, it was very exciting to see what they can do. But for Sengun, overall, both ways, just a stud that kind of came out of nowhere for Houston, and I love him, and I'm excited to see where he lands this time next year.
Well, you have me with a perfect assist. I have Sengun sitting here at 8.
I got Kristaps at 8, so we just hit a little
Beautiful. That's amazing.
Yep.
For 8, as I said, I've got Sengun, a guy who, if you look back at our All-Star video and some videos we've had in the past, is a guy who I've made clear I really love his game. And I think, honestly, might be the franchise player for the Rockets for the next 5 to 7 years. I think that is his ceiling. Just kind of a do-it-all player. I know people call him a Jokic light or things like that, and it kind of comes off as an insult, like, even if people aren't meaning to, but I see where they get it from. He is one of those players, 5 assists per game for a big man. He's able to give you 21 points per game consistently. I think this season he could up that to 24, 25. And I think more importantly, the Rockets are going to be a better team. I think he is in a better spot. I think Jalen Green took that step with Sengun out of the lineup, and Thompson and Reed Shepherd and all of these pieces. I could see the Rockets being a playoff team now, and Sengun being kind of that anchor that helps drive them for the next couple years.
100%.
Yeah.
I think as you said, the sky's the limit for this team for sure. Lots of youth, lots of excitement going on.
Yeah.
As for my 8 and Kristaps, you covered the stats for me. Just one I wanted to add. You said great shooter, 37.5% from 3. And just in the this is what put him over Sengun for me. In the playoffs, man, when he was healthy, that 20-point game in the finals, when
so big,
just coming back from injury, just so big for the energy to really push the series in the Celtics' favor. KP was there. He was doing it all year long, and it's going to suck to not see him on the court to start the year, but it's going to be a big spark and boost when he does return. So,
yeah. And the biggest thing for the Celtics, I think, not to go on a Celtics rant, but the big thing for them is you were able to win a title with KP banged up. And yes, he was still important for you in the playoffs and had some big moments, but he wasn't out there every game. So you go into this year like, okay, he's going to miss the start of the season. If he's healthy in the playoffs and we're running our team back, why can't we go back to back? Like
Yeah.
that would have to be the mentality of we won it not without him, but with him very limited.
75, 60%.
Yeah. Like, and some of the game he did play, because he played in game 5, right? Didn't he play in the last game
In
of the season?
Boston,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he was clearly very hurt. And he was still making big plays, had surgery right after the title. So
Yep.
I love KP. Definitely can go up on this list as we do it next year. At 7 for me, I have a Zags GOAT. Go Zags. I've got my boy Chet Holmgren at the 7 spot in his rookie year. There's going to be 2 rookies on this list. Spoiler. And man, it makes me so happy. All of these people who, when Chet was at Gonzaga, when he was in high school, when he got drafted, when he was on the Thunder, oh, he's too little. Oh, he's too skinny. Oh, he's gonna get dominated by the Embiids of the league, by those bigger bodies. Iron Manned it, played every single game for the Thunder, and helped the team, this young core, to the second round of the playoffs. And you could really argue is the second best player on a very good Thunder team. 16.5 points, 8 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 2.3 blocks, which is good enough for 5th in the league. Spaces the floor for you, just does it all. And you know, if you've seen these rankings, you know I value that defensive side of the ball. I value you playing both ends. He does it, and he does it extremely well, being top 5 in blocks his rookie season. That part of his game is always going to be there because of his length and his ability to disrupt shots and these layups that these guards come in with. We saw it at Gonzaga. People who don't watch him play or didn't watch him play gave the dumbest scouting reports ever, and it makes me so happy that he came into the league and proved those people wrong a year in, playing every game. So,
yeah, man, I'm gonna talk about him in a second.
okay.
I have at 7 the reigning defensive player of the year. I have Rudy Gobert.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that might seem crazy, but 14 points per game, 13 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 2.1 blocks, 76 games played. As I said, defensive player of the year, all defensive first team. The reason I have Rudy at this spot, he struggled in the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
Did not play as well as he was playing all year long. Got exposed. I forget what game it was. There's one particular playoff game where someone was cooking. I should have dug into this a little deeper, but he got cooked in the playoffs. And the guy I have at 6 did not, and had a pretty similar season. I know Depoy, that's very impressive award. And this is a respectable spot for Rudy at 7, but these guys above him, I like, but they bring on both sides of the ball more overall. If this was a all-time who I'm starting my team with, this ranking is probably different, but based off of last year, this is where I got Rudy Gobert at 7.
Well, I have Rudy Gobert at 6, so I'm not that far off from you.
I got Chet at 6.
Beautiful, dude. I love it. I love it. I love it. as you said with his stats, I don't need to repeat them because you already said them, but his rebounds were good enough for second in the NBA behind Domantas Sabonis, who we're going to talk about in a bit as well. What is there to say about Rudy Gobert that has not been said? Generational defender, point blank. You can feel about him however you want. Generational. Like, he is an elite defensive player. And I'm, to be quite frank, really tired of the discourse around him. And, oh, he's a bad defender. And it's primarily done by Shaq, who is just a hater of Rudy. I don't really know why or where this like really started. And Kendrick Perkins. And I really cannot stress enough how good of a defender he is. Yes, there are times where he gets plucked out of the paint. He is still a good defender away from the cup. It's not like
Yeah.
he's a solid perimeter defender. It's not
Mhm.
like, oh, well, we drag Rudy out on a screen and he can't guard me. Yes, he can.
Got good
He's still,
footwork. He's got
yes, and you know, offensively is what pings him. And he's still giving you 14 a game. It's not like, I was about to slander Ben Simmons, but it's not like he's giving you nothing offensively. It's not
Yeah.
like you're like, dude, yes, you're a generational defender, but man, when you're out there on offense, you are
You're playing
terrible.
4-on-5. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like he can give you a couple lobs a game. He's going to give you a tip
Mhm.
in. He's going to give you
He's
a dunk or
he's
two.
led the league in, field goal percentage a couple
Yeah.
times because he's only scoring within a
Yes.
10-foot radius, but
It's didn't make a three-pointer this year and didn't need to. He
know
shot
your role.
you
No, I
you know your
mean,
role. You don't need
yeah.
to, especially when he was playing next to Cat, which him not this year is interesting, but Cat spaces the floor so much
Yep,
that Gobert did not even need to imagine it, but
for sure.
Rudy shot 66.1% from the field, good enough for 13th in the league for a player like him. It makes sense. But all those great things I said about him offensively, not being terrible, don't get it twisted. He's not uh good offense. Like, he's serviceable, but he doesn't elevate you offensively. And I think some of these guys I put ahead of him may not be the defender of Gobert because he's a depoy, at least in the running every single season. But they have more of an offensive bag. They can give a team more or are relied upon more than a Gobert. Um,
Yep.
so I will continue to be a Rudy truther, even though, there are times where, like you said, it looks bad.
Mhm.
But it's gonna happen, especially when he's going up against bigs like Jokic or bigs like Embiid. Like, oh, he got exposed by Jokic a play or two.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the best player in basketball.
Mhm.
That's gonna happen. So,
Without doubt.
but let talk about my Gonzaga legend here. Talk about Chet.
So, yeah, this could be a little bit crazy to have Chet over Rudy, but
Mm,
the big thing for me, as you touched on, 82 games.
yeah,
Everyone said he's gonna get, especially after the summer league injury, LeBron bodying him, whatever that was,
yeah,
if that was even what caused it. But people thought he was fragile. People thought Chet wasn't gonna last in the league because he was too this, too that. Proved everyone wrong and balled out while doing it. And it
hmm
continued the big thing for me in the
yep,
playoffs, averaging 16, 7, 2, and 2.5 blocks in 10 games in the playoffs.
yeah,
While Rudy played a whole nother series, obviously averages and all that, they're going to be a little different because of that. 10 games is a pretty damn good sample size of playoff
yeah,
basketball.
without a
Those are
doubt.
some pretty damn good stats from Chet. 37% from three on the regular season as well, as you touched on. Just that was year one, man. Sure, he had the rookie year, the Ben Simmons rookie year, that was year 1 of him on the court playing NBA basketball.
Yeah.
What are we going to see next? 20 points a game, double-double, stat line with 2.5 blocks and a steal while we're at it because my arms are so long. I'm in every passing lane. Like,
Mhm.
what it's up to Chet, honestly. Like, he has everything at his disposal to continue up this list.
Uh,
So
I mean, and it's crazy too. In 90% of Rookie of the Year races, he wins.
yep, thank you for saying that. I said without if Wemby didn't exist, would have been rookie of the year.
So, I mean, like, it's one of those things too, man. And I feel like his stats, he won't be a guy who puts up. I'm not going to say won't be. It's unlikely that he's a guy who puts up 25 a game, not because he can't do it, but because the Thunder are so deep.
So good. J-Dub on his heels, probably
Yeah.
going for 20 as well.
Like,
Caruso coming in, stealing a
mhm.
couple points. Yeah,
Yeah,
tough.
Isaiah Joe is gonna knock down a couple threes. Lou Dort is gonna knock down a couple threes. You bring in Isaiah Hartenstein, who is gonna get some minutes of the big spot. Shea is gonna give you 31 a game. Like, they're so deep, Case and Wallace, that they don't need Chet to come in and drop 30 bombs,
Yeah.
but he can. Any
Mhm.
given night, he can be
Mhm.
that. He
And
like
he's clutch. And he's clutch. I
he's
almost forgot about that shot.
he's so good. And too, like we saw it at Gonzaga and you see it at the next level too. He is able to dribble the ball up like a point guard.
Yup.
Like a- and
KD style.
and that isn't something you expect of someone from this position, but my God, when you can do it, like
That helps.
I'm not gonna critique Rudy Gobert for not being able to do it because he does so many other things greatly. But
Mhm.
Chet being able to do that opens up so many different things
Yeah.
of like, hey, when he's got the ball at half court, you need to look out. He's a great like passer. He has solid dribble moves for a 7-footer.
Yeah.
Um, he's great, man. So
Mhm.
bit of a Gonzaga player glaze thing.
Yep.
My God, I love me some Chet.
He's great. Yep. Don't
Um,
worry, the Gonzaga glaze isn't over, so
no, it's definitely not because there's another guy in a couple of spots. Um, at 5, hilariously enough, talking about the guy we just talked about, I have Victor
Yep. It's about
Wembanyama.
time. Is this our first one?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Wow. We've been close, but
We have been. Um, 5, 4, and 3 for me, I was flip-flopping. They were
yeah.
like you could move them around in order, and I wouldn't argue with really any of these players as long as they're on the list.
Agreed.
Um, but dude, I, this kid really, like, really is an alien. Truly.
Dude, looking at the stats are silly,
It's
dude.
stupid. It is stupid. It should not happen like this, man. As a rookie, as a man who can't go to a bar and grab a beer, this kid puts up 21.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, puts him in the top 10 in the league last year. Let's call it 4 assists at 3.9. 1.2 steals per game, so he's top 35. Led the NBA in blocks with 3.6 per game. Shot 32.5% from 3, something he is going to work on. This is his lowest point, by the way, and that's the real reason I brought that up. He shot 306th in the NBA from deep. That's going to improve. That part of his game is going to get better as he gets better.
Yep.
Um, the kid is superhuman. Um, I, like seeing a rookie put up these numbers is crazy, and it's the same sort of thing people said about Chet. the most basic critique ever of you look at him and you're like, oh, he's too skinny. He is so talented that
71 games.
he plays 71 for you. You are so happy. So
That's
happy.
easy.
Like,
because playing 82 is like, damn, like,
dude, that's
that, like, bro, you're a dog. Like, you're a dog. Like, anything above 70, I'd say, in this day and age, like,
oh yeah,
that's
70 and up, especially for a big.
Yeah.
Like, someone who's banging bodies non-stop
And they just
every
keep
night.
banging you.
Over and over. Like, it's unreal.
Yep.
We're gonna do our awards predictions videos next. This kid is in multiple awards for me, at least running.
Yeah.
He's that good, man. I think he's the future of the NBA. I think he has the upside to go down as a top 10 player ever. He's going to be incredible.
Just so special.
Yeah, I really don't know what else to say, man.
I don't have anything to add without this turning into, yeah, man,
more glaze. It's like, dude, the kid is ridiculous. And as the Spurs get better, like, this is your rookie year, and you're putting up over 21, over 10 rebounds and leading the league in blocks.
Dude, I actually just got chills, bro.
Yeah,
That's like, yeah.
It shouldn't happen. A player should not be able to do that, but here we are, man.
Yep.
At 4, let's see if we keep it up. Give me your 4. Give me your 4.
Man, you know, as you said, this is where it got a little tough. But I'm putting respect on my man's name at 3. So at 4, I have Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat.
Me too.
19.3 points per game, 10.4 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.1 steals. We'll call it a block at 0.9. And albeit barely shooting them a game, I think it was like one attempt.
Yeah.
36% from 3 for Bam, which is a great sign. Obviously, you'd love to have that as an option, space the floor, create a little bit more on offense. 71 games played, all defensive first team, led the Heat in points and rebounds against the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. Just a really well-rounded, solid two-way season from Bam. And he's got a great shot at winning DPOY this year if he can get past the guy who we just talked about and the other guy that's a little bit up on this list. But he's that good of a defender that he is in the conversation with them. Yeah, man, big upgrades from Bam last season.
Yeah, I have him at 4 as well, and he is so good. The fact he has not won a Defensive Player of the Year, I get it. He's playing in a timeline where Gobert is playing, so it immediately clogs his ability to do so because Gobert is just, like I said, a generational defender. Bam is right there. He is so good, and he's going to be in the mix this year. He's going to be talked about in our awards video on that end, and he's still giving you 20 points per game. Like, he can give you that every single night. I think for the Heat, as the Jimmy Butler era of basketball could potentially come to the end, I think there's a world where this is Jimmy's last year in Miami. I think Bam is good enough to be a number 1, not on a contender, but on a good team where you build around him and potentially bring in another star. He's such a great player and great defense, great scoring ability. And like you said, if he's able to open the 3 ball up just a little bit more, it it doesn't have to be crazy, right? But if he's open in the corner and he can knock it down consistently, that only elevates his ceiling as a player.
Yep.
Which means for 3, given off what you said before, I think we're gonna have the same guy.
Let's put some respect on this man's name, bro.
Dude, Domantas Sabonis, another Zags legend. It makes me so happy seeing 2 Zags.
So cool. Because
Uh,
this was like not expected at all. Like,
No,
obviously,
man.
great player coming out of Gonzaga.
Mhm.
But to be playing at this level, leading the league in triple doubles, leading the league in double doubles, playing all 82 games, being a workhorse. It is just so cool to see, man.
Yeah, man. I watched Starting 5 on Netflix, and I loved Sabonis' segment because he is still to this day underrated. Still,
So crazy.
it blows my mind how, but he is, and I love that he knows that. I love that he feels that. I love that that fuels him. I love that that pisses him off because it should. You should feel slighted not being an all-star. It's disrespectful, point blank.
100%.
And it's one of those things where, like, yeah, he leads the league in triple doubles as a big fella, leads the league in rebounds, puts up nearly 20 a game. He's top 10 in assists at 7th.
Career high.
8.2. Like, and that's the thing. I forget what NBA player said it. They say it in Starting 5, but I feel like he's almost penalized for his consistency because there isn't this like, oh man, now Sabonis is putting up 25 a game. Now he's putting up 14 rebounds. Now he's putting up 10 assists. Dude, he's consistently giving you 20, 12, and 7, like for the last handful of seasons, no matter what.
Pretty
And
damn good, man.
I mean, and too, like, he does all those things offensively, and obviously the rebounds count towards his defensive impact, but he's not some slump on defense either. Like, it was this way at Gonzaga, and it's this way in the NBA. He is always banged up physically. He looks like he goes to war after every game. He's got cuts on him. His eye is bruised. He's got, like, he looks like a UFC fighter sometimes.
Yep.
Where it's like, damn, you got your ass beat, and now you're playing the next game? No night off?
Respect.
So the NBA may not give him, the love because his game might not be as sexy to the average NBA watcher, but we will continue to give him that love. And I love in Starting 5 all of the players talking about, dude, Sabonis is that guy. Like, he's really
He's that guy.
he's that guy. Even the thing wants to tell us, man. Like, Anthony Edwards going into a game with him was like, man, we worry about Sabonis. We scout Sabonis. LeBron calling him underrated, saying he's great, all the things he's done in Sacramento, how great his dad was. It's the media may not give him the love he deserves, but we will most definitely continue to.
Easily. Deserved it.
Deserves it, man. But these other 2 guys simply were just ahead. And I got a feeling I can guess where this is going to go.
He's still doing it. He's still doing it.
Dude, it like really might have been his best year.
We didn't have, okay, for a little bit at the start, but we got it out the way early.
We
didn't have a Glass, a Disney, we had Anthony Davis, the unibrow monster, come out and show everyone I'm still in my prime. I might be getting a little old. I might be in the league. I may have been around. I still got it, man. 25 points a game, we'll call it. 12.6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.2 steals, 2.3 blocks. 76 games.
76.
That's the huge 76. All defensive first team, all NBA second team. Led the Lakers in points and rebounds in round 1 against Denver. Just a really, really fun season for AD. We need some role guys. We need JJ. We need because me and Braun are still doing it. Where's the help
Those two
at?
you got no doubt, right? Like, and LeBron is going to turn 40 this season, and you still feel that way, which is a whole different discussion. But AD, it's the same thing. I know what you're going to do. His rebounds, 12.6, good enough for third in the league. Top 5 in blocks per game with 2.3. This is the type of season where, you know, all of these media personalities and people are like, man, I'm ready. And it's valid, but I'm ready for like the passing of the torch in LA. LeBron is 40. He like when is AD gonna like be like, it's really my team and show it your best ability is availability, be on the court. Because when he's out there, we know what he can do. This is that season. This is that type of season where AD says, nah, like, really, he's a top 3 two-way player in the league to me. Still right up there with Giannis. They call in going back to starting 5. It might have been Ramona Shelburne who said AD might be the best two-way, or Anthony Edwards might be the best two-way player in basketball. And I was like, whoa. It's Giannis, right? For me. And then I'm going AD. Anthony Edwards is up there. I don't want to turn this into an Anthony Edwards thing, but he's up there. But AD is ridiculous, man. And
yeah, man.
We even saw it in the Olympics. He was so good.
Yep.
In the Olympics on that defensive end, buying in.
Especially with his counterpart, big, really struggling. AD looked great.
He's great, man. I really do. I love me some AD. And so do certain locker rooms. That film, certain videos of him laughing in Kentucky out of the shower.
I like clowns.
Wait, what did you say?
They're not the same. Joker's clown daughter. He has like a red nose and like. Anyway, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys expected. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.
We all knew, right? I mean,
yeah, this shouldn't be a surprise.
26.4 points, 12.4 rebounds, 9 assists, 1.4 steals. MVP. He's the best player in basketball still.
36% from 3.
Yeah, he's
MVP.
12th in points, 4th in rebounds, 4th in assists. He's also top 20 in steals as well. Like,
yeah,
the dude is a generational player. He's got the upside to go down as a top 10 player of all time.
So crazy.
And really is good enough to keep the Nuggets in contention. Like,
yeah.
Lost Bruce Brown now 2 years ago. You lose KCP this year. Gonna have to rely on younger talent. Talk about Zags GOATs. This man Strother dropping a 30 bomb today in preseason.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jokic is ridiculous. I think he'll be right back in the MVP mix this year as he was last year and the year before, and as he has continued to do ridiculously good and still the best player in basketball to me.
29, 13, and 9 in 12 playoff games as well. Just can't be stopped, man.
No.
You can only hope to slow him down, and he is already slowed down. He's playing at his own pace. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what you do, but that's what we talk about with players of this talent, this generational level that we don't see often. It's just kind of hard to talk about. So
Yeah.
you just have to watch it, man.
Yep. He's in already cementing himself as an all-time great. And he's only going to continue to do so with every passing season that he plays in. So,
yep, without a doubt.
Simple as that. A lot of, we had a couple flip-flops in there, top 5 the same, 7 and 6 we flipped, 9 and 8 we flipped, had 2 different people at 10, which honestly were probably flips. So,
yeah.
Pretty standard list.
For sure.
Let us know yours in the comments. We would love to see them.
Yeah.
I guess my question, how high can Wemby go?
Next season?
Yeah. Because we think about it, right? We got to throw Embiid here. So Embiid's going to, assuming he's healthy, he's good to go. So you have Jokic and Embiid. I don't think he can surpass them.
Yeah.
Personally. At least not in this upcoming year.
Mm-hmm.
Can he be better than AD this year?
Fuck. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think I could do AD
I don't
like
think
that
this year. I don't.
Yeah. But it's like the fact that we could even have this conversation is dumb.
As a sophomore?
Yeah. So
like
maybe.
I think he could be better than Sabonis this year. I think, and again, that is an all-star. That's an all-star. I think he can be better than Bam. That's an all-star. Like, we're talking greats in the game right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments. That's the one I'm curious about. Like, what is his ceiling next year? Because all time we know, but
my question is gonna be: do you guys got Chet or Rudy higher? This?
That is a fun one.
That's my big question.
That is a fun one.
But let us know. Let us know any of your thoughts.
Yeah,
we look them all over and we appreciate them. So
absolutely. But before we sign off, song of the pod. What do you got for the people, Mo?
I got just a banger from Benny the Butcher. Crown for Kings.
Oh my.
If you can tell by Zay's reaction,
yeah,
just an unbelievable hip-hop masterpiece that if you haven't listened to, you need to tune in as soon as you're done watching this.
Yeah, like go.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I dude, and Black Thought's verse on that song is so good. He what's the name of it? Let me make sure I get the name right. 18 Wheeler is on the same album with Pusha T. Pusha T has a verse on there that is so, standard, but his line that I will forever remember the moment I heard it, and it still sticks with me. Why would I ever 50-50? You're not half of me.
Talk.
Why would I ever 50-50? You're not half of me. Oh, I will never forget that. Ever. Incredible. Just listen to the whole tape, honestly, at this point. Those are, yeah.
Dude, I'm never doing it again, bro. I quit.
Ridiculous. For me, I have got Under Control by The Strokes. The Strokes are one of my favorite bands ever. And dude, late night drives to The Strokes are enough to save me. So
Yeah.
that's what I wait. Oh, whoa.
Sorry.
I was
Sorry.
confused why you were yeah, we gotta end this video.
Yeah, all right,
Holy
everybody. See that?
All right. Yo, I'm bugging. I'm bugging. I'm never picking a Strokes song again.
I'm out.
Late night Strokes can save me? What am I talking about? This is terrible. This is all right. Well, what a way to end the centers video talking
Yep.
about other men. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a happy Friday. Clearly, we will.
Yep.
And we'll look forward to the award predictions video coming up next on Monday for you.
Yep. We will see y'all then.
See y'all then. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Party it up. And we'll catch y'all in the next video.
Later, everyone.
Peace.